And good afternoon, race fans. Welcome to Daytona International Speedway as we continue on Speed Weeks here in the PWRL Mike&Ike Cup Series. Getting ready now for Gatorade Duel number 2. And we have 21 drivers here who are going to try and find out where they're going to be starting in the Great American Race. On the point for this race, the guy that is scheduled to start on the outside of the front row for the Daytona 500, the Roush Fenway number 26 of Dylan White. Now, we ended up seeing his teammate, Calvin Malone, in the Division 1 race, end up having to go to a backup car, thus forfeiting his spot on the front row as the pole sitter. Dylan White, you gotta bet that's in the back of his mind, knowing that his teammate will not be starting alongside him in the Daytona 500, and now he's got to try and do the exact same thing the 16 tried to do in Division 1, that is stay out of trouble, keep away from wrecks, and just survive. If he can finish the race, Dylan White will still start on the outside of the front row for the Daytona 500. He'll start off alongside of Randy Carpenter in the 29. Connor Breton and Max Skinner, they make up row 2. Rohit Vedarvu and Mike Becker, that is row number 3. Just show you that the Gatorade Duel can change the lineup very easily. Remember, we had Evan Gattuso, who was scheduled to start dead last in the Daytona 500, and he ended up picking up some very valuable spots in his Gatorade Duel. He'll be starting up near the top 15. Here's starting lineup for today's race.
And now, here is your starting lineup for today's Gatorade Duel number 2 from Daytona International Speedway. Starting in row 1, Daytona 500 outside pole sitter Dylan White alongside of Randy Carpenter. Row 2 comprised of Connor Breton and Max Skinner. In row 3 will be Rohit Vedarvu alongside of Mike Becker. Row 4 will be Chris Jones and Morgan Carpenter. Sean Henley and JT Teal make up row number 5. T2 London and Sam Young in row number 6. Row number 7 will be the two Dodges of Jake Rogers and Noah Hart. Austin LaPlante will start in row 8 alongside of Eric Burton. Row 9 will be Seth Cole alongside of Sophie Dillon. William Duncan and Anthony Emery make up row number 10. And in the final row, going to the rear, will be the number 11 of Riley Ogle. That's your starting grid for today's Gatorade Duel number 2 from Daytona International Speedway.
And there is the FedEx Chevrolet from Joe Gibbs Racing of Riley Ogle, who at one point during the Speed Weeks held the prestigious title of Daytona 500 pole sitter. But with only about 30 seconds remaining in Daytona 500 qualifying, Riley Ogle, who had the fastest lap of anybody, ended up spinning out, wrecked in turn 4, and retired, going to a backup car. We'll see if maybe he can pick up some spots today and get himself a better starting position than 42nd in the Daytona 500. Green flag is out though. 10 laps of racing. Dylan White, his goal, survive. Everybody else's goal, win Gatorade Duel number 2 and start on the outside of row number 2 for the Great American Race. Outside line there and through turn 1 looked like it was doing pretty well, holding with the inside line, but here you can see the difference maker is turn 2. Connor Breton and Dylan White going to pull away, and here comes the Connor Breton machine to the inside. Rohit Vedarvu going to dive even lower. Here comes the Caterpillar Toyota to the inside. Wow, that was a jump back I wasn't expecting. There we go. Took me a while to get the camera on the 22 of Rohit Vedarvu, but now he's going to get challenged by Chris Jones. Now Chris Jones, another Joe Gibbs racing car who had trouble in Daytona 500 qualifying, he ended up spinning out at one point, but he did not have to go to a backup car, which is why he is starting up here closer to the front than his teammate Riley Ogle. Meanwhile, Sean Henley and the 99 of P2 London working together down low there on that inside line. Whoa, there's a spin! Oh, it's Morgan Carpenter! 96 is around as well of Sophie Dillon, and also the 43, of Noah Hart. There's Morgan Carpenter, there's Noah Hart. It was a 3-car spin. Anthony Emery may have gotten a piece of it, same with Eric Burton, or else they were just slowed up and couldn't get by at full speed. And here comes Austin LaPlante. He'll be the new leader at the stripe, and he'll lead us under the caution flag over Seth Cole, William Duncan, and Riley Ogle is now up into the top 5. So we'll take a look at a replay of what happened pushed under the caution for the first time today. Take a look here, see if we can find out what exactly happened. It may have been Sam Young in the 0-1 right there. It is indeed Sam Young going to get into Morgan Carpenter. Carpenter comes down, gets into Noah Hart, who then gets into Sophie Dillon. And the three of them just go spinning around. Let's see if Anthony Emery did get a piece of somebody here. Oh, yep, right there. Ran into the back of Sophie Dillon, and Eric Burton got turned around by Anthony Emery, but was able to hold on to it. I don't think any of these drivers, definitely Noah Hart and Morgan Carpenter, I don't know about Sophie Dillon, I don't know how hard a hit she took to the back of her DLP Chevrolet, or Anthony Emery, how hard his hit was when he hit Sophie Dillon's Chevrolet, but Noah Hart and Morgan Carpenter, I think they're going to be able to still continue on as they basically just spun. That's the good news. The bad news is they're going to be starting at the tail end of this field due to the fact that they spun off of turn number 2. Let's go back for the restart. We'll go back to green flag racing with 4 laps remaining. We'll be on lap 7 of 10 when the green flag flies once more. Nobody has retired from the race. Everybody was able to continue on. A few drivers did make pit stops. Anthony Emery, Sophie Dillon, Noah Hart, and Morgan Carpenter, all pretty much with flat spotted tires and damage. They had to come down and get those cars repaired so they will be up to full speed when we get under the restart. Austin LaPlante is the leader. Second is Seth Cole. Third is William Duncan. Fourth, Riley Ogle. What a comeback for this driver. He could start inside the top 10 with that run right now. Sean Henley is in the 5th position. Chris Jones runs 6th. Pichu London 7th. 8th is JT Teal. Then you got Jake Rogers in 9th. And 10th is Connor Breton. Rohit Vedarvu is 11th. 12th is Sam Young. 13th, Mike Becker. 14th, Dylan White. He is still surviving, so right now he is still on the outside of the front row for the Daytona 500. Randy Carpenter is 15th. 16th is Mike Skinner. Or I'm sorry, not Mike Skinner. Max Skinner. My apologies there. Eric Burton, he is 17th. 18th is Anthony Emery. Sophie Dillon, 19th. 20th is Morgan Carpenter. And Noah Hart is 21st. All 21 drivers who started this race still running on the racetrack and on the lead lap. Whether they're up to speed or not will remain to be seen. Talking about basically from Eric Burton on back through Emery, Dillon, Hart, and Carpenter. So here we are getting ready to go under the green flag. If the race ended now, Austin LaPlante would start 4th. Seth Cole would start 6th. William Duncan would start in 8th, and Riley Ogle would start in 10th for the Great American Race. But we still have quite a ways to go in this event, and anything can happen. Coming off turn 4 here, the pace car will make the hard left-hand turn to pit road, and we'll get ready to put him back under the green flag. We got a few teammates back there, I see, from Everham Motorsports, JT Teal and Jake Rogers. We'll have to see if those two decide to work together here in the closing stages of this race. Here we go. Green flag is out, and we're back underway. So another thing about these Gatorade Duels is it splits up teammates. Lance Ogle, teammate for Austin LaPlante, he was in not Division 1, but Gatorade Duel number 1. William Duncan there for Chip Ganassi Racing. His teammate Tristan Trivet was back in the Gatorade Duel number 1. However, he does have his teammate Connor Breton in this field. And Sean Henley for Robert Yates Racing. His teammate Dylan Poteet was over in Gatorade Duel number 1. So it splits up teammates, no doubt about it. So your friends are where you find him. And right now, Seth Cole's got some friends down low, and they're helping him go to the front. Chris Jones behind him, Pichu London, JT Teal, and Jake Rogers. We're seeing those two cars for Everham Motorsports working together right now, and here comes Chris Jones down to the inside. Chris Jones going to take the lead here as he's going to get some help from Pichu London. But London now going to dive way down to the low side. Here comes Pichu London for the lead. Less than 3 laps remaining in this event. Who's going to start on the outside of row number 2 for the Daytona 500? Looks like both Sophie Dillon and Morgan Carpenter are still up to speed. They're trying to catch back up to the tail end of this pack. And look at Jake Rogers with a run. He left his teammate, JT Teal, and instead hooked up with the fellow Dodge of Mike Becker. Interesting strategy playing out right there. There's Noah Hart there in the 43. He's trying to catch up as well. Looks like he's still up to speed. And now we've got 2 laps remaining, side by side. Jake Rogers alongside of Pichu London. But look at Max Skinner in the Michael Waltrip Racing Toyota. What a run he's having. Here comes Dylan White. Now, if Dylan White did win this race, he would still start on the outside of the front row for the Daytona 500. And whoever finished second would end up starting on the outside of row number 2. And here comes Dylan White. He's showing, hey, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to race with you guys and I'm going to show you how good I am at Daytona. Oh, the 40 car was loose. 40 car was loose and William Duncan's wrecked. William Duncan is wrecked. And this race may be over. I think it is over. And Dylan White may have just won the Gatorade Duel. But is the caution out? Wait a minute, I don't think the caution's out. They're still racing up to full speed. No, there is no caution. No caution for the spinning William Duncan. This is still a race for the win. And here comes Rohit Vedaravu. Riley Ogle, Sean Henley, they're coming. Side by side. I thought that Dylan White had this race won. I thought the caution was flying, but it isn't. Into turns 3 and 4 they come. This is the final lap. Henley now with Randy Carpenter trying to run down Rohit Vedaravu. Here they come, out of turn 4 for the final time. Will Henley dive to the inside? No, he's trying, but he can't. They're 3 wide, and Rohit Vedaravu wins the Gatorade Duel number 2. Rohit Vedaravu will start on the outside of row number 2 for the Great American Race. I believe Sean Henley got second. He will start the Great American Race in 6th, and I believe Randy Carpenter will start in 8th. I don't know who got 4th place. Oh, it was Chris Jones. Chris Jones, he'll start inside the top 10, the 10th position in the Daytona 500, but we got to look back and see the spin with William Duncan. Well, here's a look at it. How ironic that it ends up being 2 Chip Ganassi racing cars who both in Gatorade Duel number 1 with Tristan Trivet and Gatorade Duel number 2 here with William Duncan spin out in turn 4 coming to the white flag. The only difference, this one did not bring out a caution flag and the race ended in green, but it was Eric Burton just kept getting into the 40, kept getting into him, and finally something's got to give, and around goes William Duncan. And what a great job by all these drivers to miss the 40. He goes up and gets the outside retaining wall, does William Duncan. And that car is going to spin around. That's a tough break for William. I don't think he has actually gone to a backup car, but he is going to be starting near the back of the pack for the Great American Race. That's a tough break there for William Duncan in the Coors Light Dodge. Chip Ganassi continues to have troubles here. They had Tristan Trivet spin out on the final, coming down under the white flag in the Gatorade Duel number 1, and now they have William Duncan have the exact same thing happen to him in Gatorade Duel number 2. But congratulations to Rohit Vedaravu. He has won the Gatorade Duel number 2 here at Daytona International Speedway. He will start on the outside of row number 2 for the Daytona 500. So we do now know that Dylan Young is going to be the pole sitter for the Great American Race. Then you're going to have Dylan White, who did survive, starting on the outside of the front row. Hope that you guys all enjoyed today's race. See you guys next time as we will be bringing you the Great American Race, the Daytona 500, the number 1 greatest race of the circuit. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race. Please like, comment, subscribe. Be sure to check out the PWRL's website and to subscribe to other PWRL members' channels here on YouTube. You've been watching the PWRL, where real racing happens here on the NSRA Sports Channel.